Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew, and today we'll be talking about how you could fit exercise into your day. Before we start, this is our exercise disclaimer. Exercise is not without its risks. Individuals, especially those with pre existing conditions or past injuries, should consult with their healthcare provider before beginning an exercise program. If at any point while exercising you feel faint, you should stop immediately and consult a healthcare provider. Content provided is for informational purposes only and not intended to be used as medical advice. Please consult with your healthcare provider with any questions. Before we begin, this is a brief overview of what we will be discussing today. We'll be reviewing common excuses for not exercising, as well as a typical day and how to fit in exercise, some statistics about inactivity, the benefits of exercise, exercise recommendations, tips to start and continue exercising, how to increase your activity, as well as being able to identify when exercise becomes unsafe. So, if you have ever felt like there is always something getting in the way of doing physical activity, you are certainly not alone. Here is a list of the most common excuses for not exercising. So, the first, of course, is always going to be unable to find the time. We all have very busy lives and schedules, with kids, family commitments, and there's just simply too much to do. We travel a lot for work, or maybe it's that we're too tired. Exercise could be expensive with all the equipment we need, the gear, the gym memberships. If we like to exercise outside, weather could always be a factor there. Maybe we just don't have the motivation. We're not in the mood to exercise. We've had previous bad experiences with exercise or injuries, or maybe we just feel self conscious. So, again, it's usually time for a lot of people. And that's because most days are simply a blur of work, of household chores, errands, as well as taking time for ourselves to be with friends and family and doing all the things that we want to do with them. So, setting aside time to do anything, especially exercise, can be tough. But the key here is to be flexible and make fitness a way of life. And we need to remember that all physical activity, not just formal planned exercise, is going to add up and lead to a healthier you. So, in this typical day here, you can look for ways to add activity into some of these areas, but remember that no two people have the same routine or the same lives or obligations or things that are important to them. So, there may be some differences here. So, one of the first things that we could do is we could try to wake up a little bit early before the obligations of the day, like work. We can get up a little early and maybe we can get some activity there. Whether that's going to a gym or maybe we're just working out at home or we get to work a little bit early because maybe there's a fitness center where you work. Maybe there's an area that you can get some exercise there, whatever that might be. Maybe you get up early and you take the dog for a walk, or maybe you just go for a walk or a run or a jog. You could still go out. Your lunch break is also a great time to get up and moving. If you work from home, you could exercise at home. If your office or your job has that fitness center, maybe you can get outside if it's nice as well. Another great opportunity is between getting home from work and getting home, that travel time. Maybe you could stop at a fitness center that's on the way. Maybe there's an outdoor location, could be as little as 30 minutes, whatever you would like to enjoy. What I recommend is finding a gym or one of those locations that is close to home. So that way it's not very out of the way. So that way you're not taking extra time just to travel there. You could also save time by meal prepping. Maybe you cook 2 meals at once. So that way every other day you don't need to cook. And that way, those days that you don't need to cook dinner and you already have a meal prepared, you can get some extra activity time in there. Maybe it's better for you to do your activity in the evenings if you have very early or busy days. Maybe before bed, great time of the day to get some activity in. So we know a lot of folks are inactive, and that's more than 1 in 7 adults across the US are physically inactive. Only 24% of adults actually meet physical activity guidelines, which we will discuss. Physical inactivity can lead to premature death, and according to the CDC, 1 in 10 premature deaths can be linked to not being physically active. There's also a great amount of cost associated with physical activity. More than 11% of total healthcare expenditures are estimated at about $117 billion annually due to physical inactivity. So the consequences definitely add up. There are so many benefits of regular exercise, it's hard to put them all in one slide here. But just some of the highlights here. Of course, regular exercise is going to help you manage your weight, and that as well is going to help reduce risks for things like heart disease and stroke, decreases the risk of colon cancer and diabetes. It's also going to lower your blood pressure. It's also going to lower your bad cholesterol levels, the LDL cholesterol, while at the same time increasing your good cholesterol levels, your HDL cholesterol. You're also going to have improvements to your mood, to your self esteem. It's going to reduce stress and depression and some of the symptoms that we experience with those. We're going to get increases in our muscular strength and our muscular endurance, as well as our flexibility and range of motion. We're going to strengthen our bones, and we could also have reduction in chronic pain and help prevention of injury. We'll also get a little boost in our energy levels, and we'll get a better quality night's sleep after some activity. So these are the exercise recommendations straight from the ACSM, the American College of Sports Medicine. And the way that we read this chart is on the left-hand side, the FIT principle. So that is how we plan out all exercise. So that is frequency of exercise, the intensity of it, the time or the amount of exercise, and the type of exercise. And then going across the top are the three different types of exercise that is recommended: aerobic or cardiovascular activity, resistance training like weightlifting, and then the last is flexibility or stretching. So starting with aerobic, the goal here is to get at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity or 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity or some combination of both spread throughout the week. So to put it lightly, 30 minutes of moderate intensity activity 5 days a week, or about 15 minutes of vigorous activity 5 days a week, or any combination of those. So that's about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week for that total of 150 minutes. And the type of exercise that we'll be doing there is going to be continuous, rhythmic exercise that involves all of the major muscle groups. So that's going to be things like brisk walking, jogging, cycling, swimming, doing the arc trainer, the stair climber, whatever that might be. And it's very important to make sure that you're doing a type of activity that you enjoy doing. Next is muscle strengthening activities or resistance training. We want to be doing this at least 2 days a week, 2 to 3 days a week. And we want that activity to be at a moderate to vigorous intensity as well. So that would be around 60 to 70% of your 1RM. And 1RM is just the maximal amount of weight that you can lift in one session. So especially if you're new to exercise, start out on the lower end, about 60% of whatever that would be. And there is no time duration for resistance training. You want to make sure that you're taking rest periods so that way you don't overwork yourself or get injured. And you want to do any exercise 2 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps each. And of course, we're going to be targeting all of the major muscle groups, and we could be doing things like machines, free weights, dumbbells, barbells, Smith machines, or even body weight exercises are appropriate. Again, whatever you are comfortable and interested in doing. And the last one here is flexibility. Again, we want to be doing that 2 to 3 days a week as well. We're going to be holding stretches to the point of mild discomfort and never to any pain. We want to hold these stretches for at least 10 to 30 seconds, and for older adults up to 60 seconds. We want these to be for all of the major muscle groups, and you could do static stretching as well as dynamic stretching. So just some tips on how we can tackle some of these challenges. We went over no time, but again, that is the most common reason for not exercising. So again, just to review, wake up a little bit earlier than you would expect to, and use that extra time to even do things like stretching. You could lift some weights, you can go for a walk. And another tip, try sleeping in your exercise clothes, having those things prepped in the morning so that way when you get up, you can get ready and you can go for that quick walk, that quick jog, or do the weights, whatever you're interested in. Another one is that we simply just have too much to do. So you want to make your time count. You want to make sure whatever activities you're doing throughout the day, you're doing them at a faster pace to get that heart pumping. So even if it's chores, if you're mopping, if you're scrubbing, if you're cleaning whatever rooms, do it faster, get a benefit from it. Things like yard work is going to count too. We need to remember when we're cutting the grass or shoveling snow, that's burning calories. We want to be counting that time. We also want to be active during things like TV time. Try using some hand weights or some resistance bands. Maybe you have or are interested in getting things like a stationary bike. Maybe you want to get a walking pad or a treadmill, or you could simply just get up and stretch during these times. And involve the whole family. If we have family commitments or we're doing things with friends, try to involve them. Take group walks, time for activity, whatever that might be. And typically, the hardest step is the first one. Getting started is usually the greatest barrier. We haven't started exercise before, maybe we're nervous, we're not sure what to do. So, the best way to make time for exercise is to have a written plan. You want to put that on your calendar. Schedule your physical activity as you would any other appointment during the day. Don't change your exercise plans for every interruption that comes along as well. And feel free to break up that exercise. It doesn't all need to be done at once. You can do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, and 10 minutes at night. And that can give you just as much of the benefit of 30 minutes all at once. But we do want to make sure that we're doing at least 30 minutes of activity at a time, because any shorter bursts than that of activity, you're not going to be reaping the same health benefits that you would. So again, aim for at least 10 minutes if you cannot do that 30 minutes all at once. Another great tip is start small, set some small attainable goals and work up gradually. It will definitely build up your self-confidence and make things more achievable for you. And of course, before starting any new exercise program, you want to make sure that you check with your doctor first and get clearance if necessary. So some next steps after you have started is to get social. Try joining a club, a group, a league, whatever that might be, because you may do better with encouragement and a support system with others. Keep in mind that many fitness centers offer group fitness classes, and if that's something that you're interested in, you should look for those memberships to get enrolled in. If your current gym or center doesn't have one, check out some others and see. Usually those are included in your membership, or there might be a tiered membership that you could sign up for to include what you would like to do there. You also want to relieve stress of every day by making it fun. Try planning some active outings, whether you're going swimming, golfing, hiking, playing sports like tennis, whatever it might be. Use your activity as a way to have fun and relieve stress, because exercise should never be a punishment. It should always look at it as a good time. We also want to make the most and get more out of our errands. When we have to go shopping or we have to go to the store, try to park farther away. Use that extra distance to walk. And if you have a little bit of extra time throughout your day, do a lap or two around the store. And one of the best tips that I can give you as well is being prepared. For things like that, you want to make sure that you're wearing comfortable clothing, you have the proper footwear on. So if you can keep those things in your car even, that way you're always prepared when the opportunity arises. We also want to aim to increase our movement, even if it's not just standard exercising, of course. We are going to look for everyday opportunities to be active. So we could do this both at home and at work. So at home, you could do a couple 10-minute cleanups of your house throughout the day. Pick a room a couple times a day, go in, get your heart rate higher, and do that activity. Remembering things like gardening, cutting the grass, all of these things count, so make sure you're including them. Spend some time to play with your kids instead of, watching a movie or a board game. Go out for a walk, play an active game together, walk the dog, or look for some walking groups, look for those leagues, those clubs, do things like that. And try to walk more and drive less wherever possible. If you live in a very walkable area, try to walk to stores, try to walk to wherever you could be going. And then for work, make the most of your commute. Again, if you live close to work, if you're able to walk or bike or do whatever like that, feel free to do that. Get more steps into your day. Get off the bus a few blocks early and walk the rest of the way, or of course, park at the back of the lot before you walk in. You want to set some reminders as well, especially if you have a very sedentary job where you're not moving around a lot. Set some reminders on your phone or your calendar to get up every hour and do a little fitness break. Try to get up and walk, take the stairs, do whatever you can do to get up and moving. And if a gym membership is too expensive, you can find ways to start exercising without actually ever stepping foot into a gym. Because simply sometimes that's just not the case for everybody. Maybe some people just aren't interested in joining a gym. Maybe they're not ready for that yet. It is a big commitment because they can be expensive. So try some different types of exercise without ever stepping foot into a gym because there is plenty of exercises that you could do at home without any equipment. And those are typically going to be body weight exercises. You don't need to have any equipment for those. You could do things like push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks, march in place. You could do planks, anything like that. But feel free to check out the internet. It's a great resource. Things like YouTube, you could check out videos, exercise recommendations, and programs and get a feel for what's out there and what you're interested in. However, it doesn't always have to be free either. You might want to purchase a workout program, something that you could do at home, whether it's an app, a program, a DVD, whatever it might be. You could also get some basic fitness equipment if that is in your budget. You can get things like an elliptical or a bike or a walking pad or a treadmill, but you could also get things like dumbbells or a jump rope, stability balls, yoga mats, all great things for a home workout. And if you can't afford that equipment, that's okay. Just get a little creative. Look around the house for items that are easy to hold on to and that have a little bit of weight to them, and you could use those. You also want to, again, join some teams, some leagues, or start up your own if there's nothing in your area. Check out community resources and areas like that to see what is already existing. And of course, check out some workout apps, some programs online, and see what might be interesting to you. We also want to beat boredom. If we're doing the same exercise every time that we do exercise, it gets boring. We want to change it up because what's worse than it being boring is that our bodies will adapt to that level of consistency over time. Our body's going to recognize that and it's going to be efficient and it's going to try to expend as little energy as possible. So we want to challenge ourselves and we want to increase the intensity first, especially if it's a time commitment. You want to start out by increasing your intensity. So you could vary those activities, make them a little harder and as more complex as you can. You could do things like decreasing your rest periods when safe. But while we're doing all this, it's very important to pay attention to your form. You want to make sure that you are still concentrating on your posture, your technique, and even your speed and your breathing. And if you notice that those things are suffering, you want to lower the intensity because you are not ready for it. And reward yourself when possible. If you need new shoes and new workout gear, if those are keeping you from wanting to exercise because maybe you just have an old pair of shoes and you're not getting that level of support, you need to treat yourself to those things when you can. That will greatly increase your adherence to exercise as well. And we want to fit in extra steps. We've been mentioning this the entire presentation. Every day has so many opportunities to fit in activity without actually planning that exercise. So we want to find those ways to incorporate those because at the end of the day, any activity is better than none. So just some tips here, some of these that we already mentioned. To fit in those extra steps, you want to take the stairs. You want to park as far away from entrances as possible. If you take the bus, try to get off a block or two early and walk the rest of the way. Be a good person and push the cart back into the cart corral instead of leaving it by your car. Refill your coffee or water at the farthest machine that you can. Skip those drive-throughs. Walk the perimeter of stores, do some laps and walk around when you're on the phone, walk to get the mail, walk to talk to a coworker. It's all about just increasing your steps. Walk whenever you can because any activity, any exercise is better than none. And lastly, we need to be able to recognize when activity becomes unsafe. And if you are experiencing any of these warning symptoms on the screen, stop exercise immediately and seek professional medical attention. So those are going to be chest discomfort, but that discomfort can also be present in your jaw, your neck, your back, or even down your arms. If you're experiencing any dizziness or lightheadedness, if you are having heart rhythm abnormalities, especially ones that you could feel in your chest, and then any shortness of breath. Again, if you're experiencing any of these, stop exercise immediately and get professional medical attention. Some key takeaways before we wrap up today's session. Exercise can improve your health. It can greatly reduce your risk of developing chronic diseases and greatly improve the quality of your life. We want to increase your movement, even if it's not by formal planned exercise. We want to look for everyday opportunities as a way to increase our steps and to be more active. Remember that any exercise at all is better than none. And if you can't do that planned 30 to 60-minute session, feel free to break that up throughout the day. But remember, we want it to be at least 10-minute sessions because anything less than 10 minutes, we're not going to get those same health benefits as we would as a full 30 to 60-minute session. And remember that the only person that could change your life and take that first step into a journey of fitness and improve your health is you. I'd like to thank you all for attending today. Again, my name is Andrew from Geisinger Health and Wellness. Before we wrap up, there are some resources on the screen here that are available to you as a Geisinger member. Our 24/7 telenurse service. You could check out our events and programs by going to the link on the screen, geisinger.org/events, or simply scanning the QR code on the right-hand side. And also check out some low to no cost resources in your area by going to neighborlypa.com. Again, my name is Andrew, and I just want to thank you guys for attending today. Bye-bye.